if you wanted to reduce the time for the public to make comments to 2 minutes, we, certainly do that.
Sure. Trustee Wilson?
So the school board, they make a statement at the beginning of the meeting saying that if it's talk to the other people and see if you all have the same topic, so they go by topic. So if it's 10 people, then they need to collaborate and the one person talking on that topic speaks for, right. But they don't take 10 people on the same topic. They don't do that. So is that illegal? I mean, is that a violation of Open Meetings Act?
No, not if everyone's coming up to say the exact same thing. Not necessarily. The mayor could ask, is this repetitive of what's occurred before? Do you have anything new to add?
Or if we've had on the form where they sign in to speak, what's the topic? And then if you have 5 people on the same topic, or they see somebody else is already talking about that topic, then they won't talk about it.
The one, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I understand. The one thing would be, though, you could have more than one person speak on a topic just because you're speaking on it. I understand where you're coming from, but if it's a topic, they could have different points of view.
We
Or
would have that the mayor would have the discretion, whether to combine the question from like 10 to,
Oh, please don't put
maybe
that
5 more.
Jesus.
I don't understand.
If it's the same sort of topic, does the mayor have the discretion to combine
right, the chair of the meeting, who in this situation is the mayor.
Another eat on the head.
So that we stay around that 30 minutes, at least in terms of the input that we get, our response is going to be at least another 15 and a half hours. So it's going to be an hour.
So how can we do this within, stay within
Okay.
the realm of
Say
the
up to-
Open Meetings Act without violating?
Up to 3 minutes you're allowed, and then the mayor makes the decision. If she gets 10 forms, she can say, well, you got 3 minutes apiece. If she gets, 20 forms, she says, you got, I don't know, do the math, 2.5?
Well, what say you all have? Okay, audience.
I have a question, speaking in terms of exactly what I'm doing right now. You have the beginning of the meeting that has public comment where people make the public comment in a specific time frame. But then if you're talking about an issue that, as related to David Sevier, and a person is just what I did, raise my hand right in the middle and start asking a question about your issue, then it becomes a banter back and forth between why is the public allowed to ask public comment in the middle of the board meeting? Why wouldn't they be able to save that question for public comment for the next meeting in order to move the meeting along? Case in point with the, it's 10 people, 1 minute, 3 minutes, or whatever, you've already designated the public comment time. So why was I just able to raise my hand and ask a question right in the middle of your discussion? Because it prolongs it, instead of me having to wait, write my question down, and then asking in public comment the next meeting.
Well, in response, one of our standing rules says that we can have, the public can participate in some question and answer when we're debating.
It says that if it's recognized by the mayor or one of the boards, if it's recognized, right?
Yeah, but this is for public comment, but we do have another standing rule that says that when we're discussing a topic, that they can get, the board can get input from the public, and that's up to the discretion of the mayor.
I think outside of public comment, it should just stay at the meeting, and public comment should be just that, public comment. That's just my opinion.
But there are times when you don't know what your discussion and what the item is about if we don't have the full document. And whereas if you have explained it or started discussing, if trustee A has started his discussion on it, trustee B has said something, then I got an idea of what you're talking about, and then I might want to comment. But before, it would be ludicrous for me to comment on something I really didn't know anything about.
Okay, that, Ms. Trustees,
Until you gave me the idea, or until you.
Discussed it more.
explained it and discussed it.
Mhm.
So I would, there wouldn't be no need for me to, discuss this in public comments in the beginning, because I didn't know it.
Because you didn't know, right, that's why we started this discussion of the whole, so that you can be into it.
And if the public cannot be involved in the meeting, there's no need for us to even be here.
Right, but no, that's why that's why we're having discussion of the whole, which is good. And we do allow people to come back, and you hear what we're talking about, you get a whole agenda, and you have it in advance, which is good, and you have a right to do that. So that's what we just have to
I
deal
mean, because
with.
that's what it's all about.
Right, exactly.
I agree with that, but I think that based on the heated topics, depending on what it is, I believe that just too much personal becomes a part of this. Case in point, we have different opinions, and then it just prolongs the meeting for issues that might be further down the agenda, when we could have Ms. Truss and I could either do what Ms. Trustee Wilson said, which would be to discuss it together and then bring it up, or it could be asked in public comment the following meeting.
But what Ms. Truss is saying too, that I don't have a problem with her asking questions that's on the agenda. Now she gets the whole agenda, because the
Right.
meeting as a
Oh,
whole,
yeah.
she gets that whole agenda. And in any time she wants to discuss it, she can, she should. And the other thing is, if it's debatable now, we're starting with that argument, then that's gotta stop. But when she just legitimately trying to find out or have a question or a concern about a topic, that's okay, that's acceptable.
Okay,
But-
can I give this example, Mayor? Like, for instance, Trustee Wilson, she would, she'll say this paragraph and that paragraph.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know what's in that paragraph.
Right, I
But
understand.
when she explains that,
What
and
the
she
paragraph
asks
said.
that question, then maybe I have an opinion.
Right.
But until she asked that question, I
Mhm.
did not know that, and I cannot have that because it is not a public document until
Mhm.
you guys have moved on.
Right.
Now, what is, the issue here, I see, what you're doing is fine, but your agenda is just too long.
Right, I know it is. Yeah, today, normally it is not, it's gonna be this long, but we had to, that was because something happened last time, I won't do this anymore, but they tabled it, it was supposed to be tabled, they were supposed to vote on it, but that's right. Other than that, it won't be this long anymore in the past, in the future rather. But you do have a right, and I do want you, now, do you get a copy, you get a copy of the whole now, right?
Oh,
The residents,
no.
they don't get a package, discuss what do they?
No, what we had discussed and agreed on, Madam Mayor, was after the committee of the whole has met, those items that's moved to the agenda, when I publish the agenda for the regular meeting, it will be put on our website, it will be at the library.
Okay,
So it will be available prior to the meeting,
okay,
because the board, it has been presented to
okay.
the public in an open forum.
But it's still, I like this meeting as a whole right now, because you still can, like you say, you hear us saying things, you can ask questions. So it's open, so that's good.
I had the opportunity to ask a question tonight, but everybody else may have asked
Right,
what I want to hear, so I.
Right.
Yes.
okay.
I mean,
So that's the problem, I agree with you. The only time we should cut it is debatable. If they just have an inquiry on it, I want to understand it better. What did you just say? What does that mean? That's fine. And that's what they,
Because
this is
otherwise, there's no
clarification.
need for me to be here.
Right, okay.
Okay, we can be at home and do it.
Okay, yeah. Ms. Wayne?
Well, y'all kind of answered my question. Only thing I
Okay.
didn't like is that you're limited, say, 30 minutes. You may have, some nights you only have 7 people here.
Right.
Some nights you may have 20.
Mhm.
If these people want questions, they have questions for you, then you need to answer them, whether it's 10 or 20.
Right.
And then sometimes you all go too long on your answers.
Well, we had said that we were gonna limit ourselves
You
as
should
well.
limit yourself.
It is, it's already in here.
But
to
y'all
limit
don't do
ourselves.
that though. Y'all
No,
go
we're
on
doing
and
it.
on. Okay,
We're
then
doing
that's-
it.
Then that's the way it should be. Don't tell us you're going to be 10
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
30
Well, that's what
minutes, then
we're
we
doing.
only have 30 minutes to ask questions. I don't think that's right.
Well, we gotta cut it off at some point.
Well, if you got 30 people that have a question,
Right,
you need to answer their question.
right, and no problem with
Get
that.
1 minute each.
Right.
No, you can't say 1 minute.
No,
1 or 2
Now, Ms.
minutes, 1 or
Williams?
2 minutes. and I
I was
can
gonna say, it's very rare that we have that many people.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
So,
Right.
That's what I said.
keep the 3 minutes because.
Right, well, he did say that.
Yeah.
We stay with the 3 minutes with that. According to how, we just work the audience to see how it works. But you have a question anytime during the whole meeting, you have a right to answer it though.
Right.
Yeah, this committee is whole.
I would say up to 3 minutes, Mayor.
Right, yeah, so
I
that's
say 3
right.
minutes.
That way you can say that you got 2 minutes each.
At your discretion, Madam Mayor.
Okay, gang, get the.
Well, it drags out, so it's like 10:45, and we
Yeah,
still
right
got
now.
8 more items to
No,
discuss now.
come on, we do, that's right, okay.
Okay, that's good.
Let's go.
So what are we doing, Madam Mayor?
So, 588, what are we gonna do for it? You wanna bring that, and you're gonna bring that to the meeting?
For the agenda for
On the
passage?
agenda? I think we should.
We ready for it?
Everybody's okay for the agenda?
Yeah.
Agenda. Okay, fine, on the agenda, it's a go.
Change, right.
Okay, with the changes. Okay, discussion rental, don't do that next meeting.
Please get the
Okay,
changes this week.
Yeah, bring the changes,
Please,
please.
no, don't bring them. Send them.
Discussion,
Send them to
send the
them.
emails, she said.
Send them to the attorney.
Discussion, rental of 90 Center, Town Center. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I think we ought to, there's no section 2A and B herein, so I think me and you, we ought to hold off on discussion until we know what section 2A and B herein is.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You look at
Five.
under Exhibit A, 4.0 restriction of use, it says pursuant to section 2.0A and B herein, there's no section 2.A and B.
Yeah, look above.
Oh, that's wrong.
Okay.
It's use of town center.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I print the whole thing, yes.
The discussion of the rental of
Liz, get a mic.
Can't hear you, Mike.
Sorry about that. I was, the, excuse me, something that's in my program here. The 90th Center, given any meetings by the elected officials, has never been charged a fee. So I can't understand what's the problem is coming from now, that you want the elected officials to pay a fee to use the 90th Center.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I just think I've got a lot of complaints from the residents. It's not fair, and it isn't. We do, right now, we want to have a meeting at the school. I want to have a meeting about an issue that an event we're getting ready to have in September at a facility. I'm not gonna say where, because I'm not gonna be quoted. And they said no. And I said, but you're a part of this meeting, you gotta pay. The school board, school, the same thing. Go over there and try to rent it. It's money, and we're using, light, gas, and an employee. And everybody else, the residents said, so, one lady called me very upset, and she said, well, fine, from now on, I'm not gonna pay to use it either. You charge me $2 a chair, you charge me for $50 an hour, so the next time I wanna have an event, I'm gonna call elected official.
Mayor, that's
No.
an event that you're talking about.
No,
We're not,
a meeting. Okay, go ahead.
we're not talking about an event where a person could make money or sell things or have whatever they do, to get cash. We're not talking about anything like that. What I'm talking about is, these are the residents that want to come up here. These are not nobody trying to make any money. They just want to come up and they want to talk. They don't have to worry about talking or being up in public for 3 minutes. They're not in front of the trustees or anything like that. They just want to come out and tell the people, each other, well, let's get some economic development here. Let's do this. They're giving their ideas of what could happen or what they want to happen. But that's all it is. I cannot understand why the residents can't come up here and give their opinion to each other. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Just a second.
So, I guess, I honestly don't think because I'm an elected official that I should have precedent over rental than a regular resident. I'm a resident, if a resident has to pay, I think I should pay. Now, looking at this I think this is the old exhibit, it shows what used to be there.
Right.
So, I know the mayor says it often, we have written here that we're crossing out, elected officials shall pay the facility rental fees identified on the 90 Town Center Drive rental agreement for the second and subsequent rentals of the property during each quarter of a calendar year. C, the duration of the rental shall be limited to 2 hours when the elected official use the town center without charge. So it looks like we had some things in place and we, as a village, chose not to follow the rules that we put in place, which we have seen over and over. Since I've been elected officials, we've seen things where we have it in writing, and I know people bring up, oh, this is 1973. But if it's 1973 and it still applies today, why don't we follow what we have? Because right here, this doesn't say elected officials get to use the room for free whenever they want to.
Okay.
And so we've been doing that. Elected officials have been using it whenever they feel like it, free of charge, longer than 2 hours, more than, what does it say? No more, you gotta pay for the second and anything after that per quarter. And we haven't been following what we always doing.
Amen.
I mean, what we have written, we have to, at some part, we want to keep saying we're ready to move forward. We have to start following our policies and procedures. And if it's written here before, that we should have been paying, then the trustees should be paying. But now,
I've never seen any of the trustees pay for anything that they did up there. I have not. I'm just explaining to you what I have seen up here. All the time we come up here, we're not coming up here, like I just told you, we're not having a party, we're not dancing, we're not giving anything like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the residents that live here, they pay taxes. They can come up in here, they can talk, they can explain what they want to see. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I do.
I don't.
Just a second, I'll give you a chance. The attorney has something to say.
Yeah, trustees, the policy that's Exhibit A that was tendered to you for this meeting, at the what's this, February? Back in January, an ordinance and a policy was put towards you. There was no policy in place at that time. What you have today is the policy that was presented to you in January, and then pursuant to input from the mayor, she made some revisions to what was previously presented. Previously, it was presented that trustees would be able to use it once per quarter without payment. And the proposed revisions after coming out of that meeting, going into today, is to get rid of that entirely, so that if a trustee, mayor, clerk, elected officials were to use the 90 Town Center for personal use, not for meetings or educational informational, you would have to pay. There would be no use of the facility for free.
January committee of the whole meeting,
Correct.
It's always been used for committees. And this is the thing that's kind of bothersome. We all are liaisons on committees and commissions. So they can always use them. But outsiders, that 501(c)(3)s and all these other personal committees or organizations, no. I don't think that they should be allowed to come up here and do the Ku Klux Klan. Anybody, come on here and use it. But they could be a resident as well, and other organizations. There are organizations that's coming here. And if you're talking about showing the information, we're having these beautiful committees now. They demolished them, they're coming back. And anything that we need to talk to about the village, let's do it collectively with harmony and bring it to the board, and the people can learn about whatever and hold these meetings. Like we're gonna have one Thursday night. It's called State of the Business. We're trying to inform the people what's going on. We don't need, because I'm not gonna go there. But we need to just have a collective meetings, all these trustees, you're one, can be a trustee, liaison, have a meeting here to inform the people of what's going on. Privately, things like that, it's just not right. It's just not respectful. Excuse me, just a second, excuse me, Clerk D. Jones, and then I'm going to residents.
I'm sorry,
She had that
Attorney Wise explained
what I was gonna say.
Okay, the residents.
Mrs. Williams, we pay you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what, and we're a resident, we pay too, we pay taxes. So why should you be able to use it free and we can't?
We're not.
Okay, I'm not saying that I'm using this for free.
Y'all paying.
To get any, codes. I'm talking about residents that wants to get together.
Okay, so we can all have, I can say I want to get together with my friends, I can have it for free?
Get one of the trustees. Yeah, they can bring them.
We don't think that's not right. That's an abuse of the thing.
But what I'm saying to you is, you have people, I said people, I'm sorry. You have residents that want to get
They
together.
get to your house.
No, this is not, it's not like that. It's any resident, anyone that wants to come.
Then if they're a group with you, then you should be welcome wherever you have your meeting. Because that's your house.
And this is the 90 Town Center, and I think this is for our village. This is our village.
And you know what, actually, this is an extension of our
I
board.
understand that, but
Actually, this is an
I want
extension.
the people to see what I'm having to go through right now that I am going through.
Okay.
And it's right here, it
Gina.
says that it can be done.
Okay,
It
Gina.
says it can be done.
This is for
Gina
political.
Williams.
Some same people don't even come to board meetings.
Yes.
And it's not but about 10 or less, they can meet in somebody's house and discuss whatever they want to discuss. This should not be a place for that. Because if I want to create a group and I decide, okay, Paula, I want my group to come up here. There's some residents at University Park. And we're going to just come up here, use up the town center, stay 3-4 hours. I think that's abuse. I think that is abuse. I'm not done. I don't think that's fair, especially when it's repetitive. Same people every month, every other weekend coming, using our town center. They're the same people who talk about the town is broke, that we have no money, but yet they want to use our light, our gas, our water, and come in here and meet for 3-4 hours. We ain't even talking to. And when I, as a member of CCC, when we wanted to do the same thing, we had to pay for the facility, pay for the chairs, and pay for our time. So why should all of a sudden me, another man, or whoever these people are, decide, oh, we're going to use this just because they've been turned down at the library?
Ms. Humes?
No, she.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Judge just to give my opinion, I have to forgive me, I must have got a little tired a little bit earlier. But I don't believe a changes are necessary for the use of the town center for elected officials, especially if the purpose and motivation is educational, informational, or civic. I mean, we were talking not too long ago about creating a special village-run committee for civic engagement. And we shouldn't stop civic engagement and allow public members who wish to have civic engagement here at the town center come out and freely express their ideas. And that's what this should all be about. I understand that there may be some that disagree, but we need to keep residents happy at this time.
You're not right,
And
But you burning lights, gas, and all resources for something that they can do at a smaller facility.
I would also point out
Okay, all right, wait a
those
minute.
resources at some level are burning.
Okay, Ms. Truss,
Well, let's put it.
we ready, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Mayor, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trustee Tate, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of the things that I think that some of these comments are based upon is a false assumption that anything that we may do would be negative. I would agree that the facility shouldn't be used for political purposes, but you elected us to be responsible for the direction of this village. And we should be able to use our judgment to say that, there's a group of folks that want to get together, and I wouldn't mind hosting it. So if it's Black Lives Matter or something else that's, maybe not necessarily recognizing something new, a pet committee, for example, or some people that are interested in having a meeting about pet control or beautification or whatever it may be, then I should
be responsible enough to be able to host something like that as a benefit to the village. You know, if we had our own conference room as the mayor does, then we could meet there. But a lot of times you don't know how many people are going to show up to a meeting if the word gets out and it becomes a hot issue. So, you know, from my standpoint, I think we should be responsible enough to be able to host an event that we feel would be worthwhile for the community. Now, there was an event that happened, and the mayor and I just chatted about it before it happened. Somebody couldn't afford a repast, right? And that's a horrible thing, you know, because I see we got these, you got to notify 30 days, and you got to cancel 48 days and all that, 48 hours and so forth. But somebody's hurting, I should be able to check with the village to see if it's not going to be rented, to say, okay, I want to do some good in the hood and help this family out.
Right.
Okay? And so, you know, I shouldn't have to pay for that when my whole purpose is to help to serve, you know, the community. And so, I mean, that's just where I am on this whole thing.
And it was unfortunate because this Saturday, that was the situation, and they couldn't use this facility because 7 people lived in here. And the mother was a child that had committed suicide, and she had nowhere to go. And it was said that she couldn't use this facility because 7 people was in here. That's bothersome to me.
That's crazy.
taxpayer. Jim.
You talking about this Saturday, just
Yes,
that?
this Saturday.
You talking about the lady that was up at the golf course, a nice place with nice food and everything?
That's what she gave, that they had to fix it to go there because she said that he
It
was
was
told.
better than this
So,
place.
no, she wanted it here. And she said the chief talked to her and said, well, somebody's got it. And it was told to him, no. And she
That's
had
not
to go
true.
to the golf course.
That's
I'm
not
just
true.
saying that's what the chief just said. That's
No.
Okay, we're done. Okay, Ms. Johnson.
Okay, you know what?
I like this.
Can I speak, please? I am one of these people that you were discussing. And I and some of my neighbors and residents of this village decided to start a block club, a legal block club, not a block party, as a civic organization, like other towns have. Most towns that flourish and have things done, they have civic organizations within their communities. And I know because I'm a member of a lot of them, and they are able to have a meeting without paying and without having to go into their homes. Some of them, I remember we go into their homes or whatever. We're able to use the libraries. We're able to use whatever. This is not a political organization. Whenever government gets so big, every time you go to government to do this and to do that, there goes your taxes, it gets okay. The people need to feel that they're involved in their community, not necessarily in their government. They want to do something. I might want to pick up paper on Black Hawk. I might want to do something. For me, I like my thoroughfares, my main thoroughfares to be kept up. So I can do this as a civic organization. I can apply for grants that you may not be able to apply for here. And now when I asked to use this facility, it was understood that if that was a cash paying person that wanted to use this facility, I would not be able to use this facility. I pay taxes here. We've been paying taxes for 44 years. And I'd like to be a happy resident. I'd like for other people to be happy residents. I'd like to participate in my community. And everybody should be happy. And I just want to tell you that now.
Okay.
I'm one of these people. But it is understood that I am not to stop anybody from using this facility. This is an empty facility that is not being used. That's the only time I can come in here.
Okay.
My organization has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with civic.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Understand that?
Right. So, my thing is, okay, and I respect that and I heard you. In all due respect, Ms. Trust, we have all these right now today that we're gonna do. When you talk about picking up paper, beautification committee, human services special events committee, we have a lot of committees that if they really wanna get involved, I was involved in this village 17 years before I ran for office. And I was happy about it. Barbara McKinley had all these things, and I didn't have to separate and pull aside a special group to be involved in my village. I looked at these committees, the cable station, the finance, everything, and I was there, and I had like.
Can be
But-
a specific organization, but your governmental organization are chosen by you and by this, that, and whatever person. Only certain people can do certain things.
But,
I've been
okay.
doing this for years, honey.
Okay, but wait a
But
minute,
understand,
Bill,
and I will continue to do this as long as I pay taxes.
okay, now, this is my thing though. These are the same, and I'm just gonna keep it real. Next door, these are the same people that get on next door and slander, curse, disrespect this board, and me included. I have been cursed, lied on, cheated, went to the news, talked about, mistreated, and my daughter died in this very village. And administration didn't even respect it enough to write a piece of paper of a resolution on her and said no. That's heartening to me. I've done nothing to anyone, but it's the same people that want to use, this is really an extension of our boardroom. It's really an extension of our boardroom. And these are the but I'm saying these are
I
people.
remember my son died.
I know, and I understand.
My son went to school.
Okay, order, just order, just order.
And I remember, Mayor, you didn't want my son to have one either.
I didn't know, no, that's not true. I didn't even know your son died. You never told me, you don't talk to me, Mr. Trust, so how would I know
His
that?
name was on the resolution, you couldn't.
Okay, but what I'm telling you, nobody did it to me,
So that's
and
not-
nobody
that's
did, but
not
I'm
the
just
biggest- I
saying,
don't
for
care
those
about
same negative people to sit here and try to be divisive in our village is disrespectful. That's what you want these people to use, our extended boardroom,
Mayor,
to just be disrespectful
Mayor.
to, I'm sorry, I'm still speaking.
I understand.
I'm just saying,
I'm trying.
that really hurt, when we got people out here, pastors being disrespected, being cursed out, being accused of stuff, and then they want to come here and continue it and try to get more divisiveness in the village. That's not good, that's not
Mayor.
healthy.
Are you speaking to my group?
No, I'm saying the people that are next, excuse me.
What
I'm still trying to, I didn't interrupt anybody when they were talking,
are you
please.
talking about? I've never been
So,
on next
I'm
door
just
before in
saying.
my life.
I said she's talking about the people on next door.
These people are next door, the same people that's in here trying to be divisive and tear this village apart, but we're trying to get stuff,
When
and
you
you,
invite a former mayor, former finance directors, and they sit here and discuss, they just had a meeting here and went over every one of these agenda items. That's political.
right,
That's
okay.
not, that's not.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Webb, we didn't do this, okay.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Let's, this has gotten hot, let's, come